Hi everyone, today we're going to be learning how to make a chocolate banana bread with walnuts. So stay tuned if you want to keep watching. These are going to be all the ingredients you'll be needing for this recipe, and you can look at the description below for the exact measurements of everything. As you can see, my bananas are super ripe, but I did peel them the day before so they kind of oxidized. As we're doing this recipe, it's important that you keep all the dry and wet ingredients separately. You can see I have 2 bowls where I'm putting all of my dry ingredients, and then after I'm done with those and I mix those up, then I will start adding my wet ingredients to the second bowl that has the bananas. Once we have all our dry ingredients ready, we have to incorporate them together. So we're just gonna mix them up gently here until everything is mixed up. Now that we're done with that, we are now ready to be moving on to our wet ingredients. Here I have some coconut oil, which I have to melt, so I placed it in the microwave, and once it was melted, then I poured it into the batter. For this next part, I do use apple cider vinegar, but don't worry if you don't have any. You can just substitute that for some lemon juice. The great thing about this recipe is that a lot of the ingredients are interchangeable, and you can just use things that you have at hand at home. That's kind of how I did it. I kind of winged this a little bit, but it's all in the name of science and deliciousness. So once we have all of our wet ingredients together, we whisk them just to be able to incorporate all of the wet ingredients. Once that's well incorporated, we're going to start taking our dry ingredients and we're going to start slowly incorporating them into our wet ingredients. You want to do this carefully. You don't want to lose any of your batter here. But yeah, just mix it in slowly, and make sure that you don't over whisk your batter. You want to make sure that the wet and dry ingredients are blended well together, but you don't want to have or don't need to have a super smooth batter in order to make this work. As you can see, I'm kind of struggling here. I do not have a stand-up mixer, but we make it work however we can. So you kind of whisk here for a little bit. I'm gonna fast forward through this part so you guys don't have to see me struggle. But you can see the batter start to incorporate itself, and this is when you can see that it's getting ready to add the next part, which is the chocolate chips. These are totally optional, but I have a sweet tooth, so this is what I'm gonna be adding. It's funny, you can tell that I debated how much chocolate to add. I stopped and then I was like, let's get some more. So now our batter is ready to be poured into our baking dish. I don't have a loaf pan, so this is why I had to use this baking dish, but it works out just fine. You can see how I have some of the parchment paper sticking out of the sides of the pan. This makes it easier to remove it when you take it out from the oven. And I did decide to add some more chocolate chips for a topping right before popping it into the oven. Add as little or as much as you'd like here. And once you're done with this, we're just going to pop it into the oven, 350 degrees for 30 minutes because I have a flat pan. If you're using a loaf pan, you bake it for about 50 minutes. Once you take it out of the oven, you'll see the way that it looks. The edges are kind of coming off of the parchment paper. There's cracks in it, so it's definitely ready. Leave it to cool for about 60 minutes and then cut it up and enjoy this baby. Look at this deliciousness. This is so good. Enjoy. Let me know if you guys recreate this recipe and tag me on it.